I'm sorry, but I don't need to explain that.
The third and final part of my conversation with Maka Botchorishvili, a majority MP in Georgia. Earlier we covered national security and the Global War Party. Now, let's focus on her views regarding relations with Western partners. Does Georgian Dream, you told me that you did the most to take Georgia in Europe, but does, after all this, Georgian Dream want to take still Georgia into Europe and NATO?
Yes, of course. And again, we are not joking when we are talking about Georgia's EU integration. And this was very serious. And this is very serious when we talk about actions that we are doing to move forward to that path.
A few days ago, I had a similar conversation with the chairman of the Committee of Foreign Affairs, Security and Defense of Czech Republic, Mr. Pavel Fischer. He was here in Tbilisi. He complained in an interview, as I said, like this, that basically they haven't been welcomed according to the diplomatic etiquette. You know, he also has a diplomatic background. What do you say about that?
Well, we are talking about people who were standing at the rally against government, right? These people.
They say that they went there because you haven't welcomed them according to the.
First of all, they had a meeting with their colleague, Foreign Affairs Committee chair. They had the meeting with him, and that was the, request, and that was the meeting from Georgian Dream. The Foreign Affairs Committee chair is from this political party as well. So,
yeah, but it's not really according to the procedure to ask to have the meeting at the headquarters of the party.
That was a quite specific situation. The parliament was surrounded by people who were trying to enter the parliament, and for security reasons was not that preferable to have meetings in that building in that moment, and that was the place which was offered by a member of Georgian parliament, which is member.
You could have easily taken them to the governmental building.
I'm sorry, but I don't need to explain that. This is not the reason to go to the rally against government if you don't like protocol in the country. I'm sorry, but this is not right justification to do that, like to play the kind of game in internal politics in Georgia in that very, very quite intense time. Yeah, I'm sorry, but this is not justification. They had meeting, they knew what meeting they would have, and they knew for what they were coming.
Okay, so when I speak with some activists in front of the parliament, you know, many of them are from Gen Z, but there is also a good part that have a few years more. This specific group of people have this common thought to consider to leave the country after the introduction of this law. I think that this is a big issue, no? So you have Gen Z, so the future, which is protesting against you, and who has a few years more who consider to leave the country. For a small country like Georgia, you know, you can have all the best plans for Georgia, but if people leave, it's a big issue.
Lately, that is also kind of subject for speculations again. This has been an issue for many new member states that exited the European Union in the last 10 years' time, when in this process they lost, like, you know, people moving to, for better salary. So that can be an issue for Georgia. And I think that this is, just, emotional look at the, somebody protesting the government may leave the country and go to another country to find the, better job or better salary. We are still, developing our economy, and we do understand that we need to do more to keep people working for Georgia rather than leaving country for better salaries. That's the reason people are moving mostly.
Let me ask you two questions more. This is a bit more personal, let's say, but I like to ask it in general. What drives you in politics? So what made you decide to stop your diplomatic career and join the parliament?
for many years I was looking at this situation. I served in Brussels several times and in Vienna. And my only motivation was and is still to make this country better for our kids to live in, and to give them better Georgia with more European political culture as well when it comes political life. Because unfortunately we tend to be quite emotional, and we have quite little different political culture in Georgia in terms of political discussions as well. And my intention and my drive was my daughter's words: go there and work there and be in Georgia. And that's why I moved from Brussels to Georgia and entered the politics to, if I can, if I may, and to contribute to make this country a better place to live and make this country a better place and more European and bring more European standards.
So where do you see Georgia in 10 years from now?
In European Union. Yes.
That's it?
Yes, in European Union. But it's gonna be a difficult way we do need to work together. That's all about negotiations. And imagine in this process, every time we have little contradiction or something different, we see differently, and we need to work. We have such a, big question mark where Georgia goes, whether Georgia is Russian or pro-Russian, or, questioning the basic thing in this process. That is existential choice of Georgia and historic choice of Georgia to move towards European Union. We don't have any other choice even. For me, it's not even choice. That is like one way to go, but it requires, to implement that.
Well, to join a club, you need to accept the rules of that club, not to ask to be understandable.
I understand that, and we know the basic framework, what is European Union based on, and what is the beauty of European Union. You are representing one of the member states of the European Union, right? And why we need to be part of this union, where you can still be Georgian, Italian, and it does not mean that Italians has to become like Swedes or Germans, or Germans has to become like French, and they have to, lose everything or have like absolutely same thing. Of course, we understand the basic values and basic principles what European Union is based on, and of course we do understand the process of integration, which means that we have to bring all European legislation in. I'm not saying that Europeans should become Georgians in this process, but same time we have to understand what we are talking about. We need to discuss many things, including how Georgia is becoming member of the European Union and how European Union sees this neighborhood already as the part of the European Union. So these are serious things, and this requires serious discussions, and not with speculations we will not move forward. We really need to have more understanding of certain situations.
Thank you for because you answered all the questions except the one about the Global War Party, which is to me looks like, for the fans of Harry Potter, looks like a bit of a Voldemort that can be briefly mentioned, but nobody can really talk about it. So, okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Jacob.
That's it for now from Maka Botchorishvili. Don't forget to follow, comment, and share to stay up closer.